Ever since we first heard The Rock utter the phrase, I want your soul to Cody Rhodes, it feels like there's been a lot of fan theories and a lot of people asking, what exactly does that mean? We're not sure. It was a very awkward and strange interaction between Cody Rhodes and The Rock where we saw a lot of face caressing, a lot of weird facial expressions. But after this 3 hour unk-like in the club pursuit by The Rock to Cody Rhodes, I feel like we have a lot more answers than we previously did. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Count coming at you. Before I get into this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Guys, always remember it costs you nothing to hit the like button and subscribe, and it helps the channel out in more ways than you even know. But this episode of SmackDown was mainly centered around this whole choice that Cody Rhodes has to make tomorrow at the Elimination Chamber about if he wants to give The Rock his soul. Now, we saw Cody Rhodes 4 different times before he ended the show with his in-ring segment. And he was visited by 4 different individuals before the show really even got kicked into high gear. Cody Rhodes was walking through the corridors and he was approached by 2 individuals and they escorted him to his own private locker room. That was courtesy of the final boss. And once we see this locker room, it's this big baller locker room, has all these different wines and sushis, and I'm assuming fancy cheeses. And we see R-Truth finding a way to get into this locker room. And he's eating up Cody Rhodes' food. And he basically tells Cody, he's like, hey, if this all is what comes with, giving your soul to The Rock, you might want to do it. And then he goes on to tell Cody about all these different things he should ask The Rock to have into his locker room the next time. The next we see him stop by Drew McIntyre in the hallway. And Drew basically tells Cody, you should do it because, again, you've been your soul way long ago. And then we see him approached by The Miz, and The Miz is telling him, he's like, man, Rock, he's a big deal here, but in Hollywood, where I live, he's the mayor around there. And then he tells Cody to feel on his skin. He's like, that's that Papa Tui, which is The Rock's, hair and skin brand or whatever. And he says, this could be Cody Tui. And he's basically telling, you were doing great here, but, with The Rock, you could be up here, right? And then before he goes out to the ring, he is approached by CM Punk. And CM Punk is telling him, he's like, old CM Punk would have done it in a heartbeat. This, a one-way trip to the main event of WrestleMania, yeah, I would do it, And he tells Cody, he's like, you should take it. And then Cody kind of looks shocked. He's like, you should tell The Rock to take that offer, turn that sumbitch sideways, and shove it up his part-time ass, right? And you see Cody kind of chuckle. Then Cody goes out to the ring. And he's interviewed by Michael Cole, and he's telling, Cody, he's like, if you take this offer, you basically could be Roman Reigns. He's like, no more house shows, no more European tours. You only have to defend your title on the big premium events like WrestleMania. And that's exactly what it was, right? You get to be Roman Reigns if you sell your soul to The Rock. And before we really get further into the conversation, Michael Cole sits there and has his earpiece, and he's like, I'm hearing that a gift is coming in from the final boss. And you have this brand new Raptor pickup truck with all the trimmings. It's red. It has the Cody Rhodes Nightmare logos on it, all of that. And it's really cool. I'm a big truck guy, so I was like, man, that's badass. And then we see this video of The Rock on like a tarmac or a runway for a private plane. And he starts talking to Cody Rhodes, and he says, know you like the truck. You like to go on these different roads, the bumpy roads, the icy roads, all these roads, the dusty roads, right? And then he starts looking up at the sky, and he's like, I've been talking to your father. Me and you, we've been texting back and forth. We've been doing all this. We've been on FaceTime, and I've been talking to him multiple different times. And he shows this weight belt, and it says Cody's soul on it, and it has the date that Dusty Rhodes passed away. And, anytime Dusty Rhodes is mentioned, Cody Rhodes gets very emotional. And then he tells Cody, he's like, you broke my heart once. Don't break it again. And he's like, be my brother. I want your soul. All these different things. And that's the end of the show. Now, like I said, there's a lot more answers and a lot more details as to what exactly he meant now. But like I said, he's basically saying, if you give me your soul, you can be Roman Reigns, right? He doesn't have to give The Rock his soul. How about you just negotiate a better contract next time, right? Can we do that? Could there not be any souls exchanged? Can I just hire a better, representation for myself? Is that an option? But the way that they've been selling it, right? That Cody was not going to take it, and now he's kind of tempted because of all this wooing that The Rock, showed him. Makes me feel as if now there is a slight more possibility than it previously was, and I feel like that's the goal. What was tonight, right? It was a goal, but like I said, this was uncomfortable. Like how I mentioned earlier, before I started the video, this was another weird, uncomfortable, interaction, right? Like I said, and I kind of equated it to how an unk is. I don't know if any of you individuals who are watching this know what an unk is or unk status, but basically an unk is an older gentleman, 40s, 50s, 60s, who very much so, enjoys himself younger women and approaches them in a way that I've seen multiple times, whether it's at a restaurant, a store, or a bar, and tells them, hey, if you get with me, I can give you this. I have that. I work this place. I have this vehicle. I have this home. All that. That's basically what we saw The Rock in an ultimate unk mode tonight, and it was strange, right? But at the end of the day, I feel as if it's still going to go according to plan, where Cody Rhodes turns him down, but the way that they were able to incorporate Punk in this segment, him being the last person to talk to Cody Rhodes before he went out there, it makes me feel a lot more like Punk could be the guy, because the way that he was making it sound like, like how ridiculous it is. I feel like it could be him because a person like Drew McIntyre, that's too obvious. John Cena doing it, like I've talked about before in previous videos. Cena turning heel now, I feel, is if it's too late and there's no reason to do it. He's not in the same position as Hollywood Hogan was, where Hogan was getting mixed reviews and in certain places getting more negative than positive, to where it made sense for him to turn heel. Cena's not going to get booed, not even remotely close to where he was booed during his prime, where it was 50-50. He's at a stage in his career where this is his Derek Jeter year, where even if you hated him, whether you're a Red Sox fan or Orioles fan, you're not going to boo the guy just out of respect. And I don't think it makes sense. I think the only person that it would make sense to be would be CM Punk, because I feel as if Cena's winning the Elimination Chamber. Desperate times comes for desperate men make desperate decisions. And I could see him doing something that he would never envision him doing, and that is linking up with The Rock. Because I feel like when he said this statement, he has it in his mind that he's winning the chamber. And once he realized that he's not winning the chamber and he has no other way to get into the main event of WrestleMania, that's when he would accept it by The Rock. Because we saw earlier, too, that I believe it was The Miz. The way that he ended it was he said, hey, if you're not going to take it, somebody else will. Teasing a possibility that another individual is lined up if Cody Rhodes says no. And that's the way it's going to go in my mind. I could be completely wrong. Sound off in the comments. What do you guys think? And guys, remember, we will be doing a post show immediately following the Elimination Chamber. I will be going live and talking about what went down on the show. I hope you guys will be there. Be in the comment section. We can go back and forth, talk about what we didn't like, what we liked. Let me know. Be there. It'll be immediately following the show. Like I said earlier, guys, I am Kevin Zwicker.